Hey, it's Rich Tehrani with TMCnet. Thanks for watching. We are here for our Editors Week in Silicon Valley, and it's 2016, and our program is Shashi Kiran. He's with Quali. Shashi, how are you?
Rich, I'm doing well, thank you.
So I thought we'd start at the top. You guys are in the DevOps automation space?
Yes, DevOps is one of the primary use cases for Quali. Our offering, the primary offering is called Cloud Shell. It's a software that you can deploy to standardize various environments today and apply it to DevOps and cloud-centric processes. So whether you're building a private cloud, hybrid cloud, whether you're doing a DevOps pipeline for faster release management, if you have the ability to build complex environment, model it, orchestrate it, whether it's physical, virtual, data applications, then it allows you to make these transitions faster from, let's say, on-premise to hybrid cloud, from monolithic application architectures to microservices and containers, or maybe a traditional network deployment to a software-defined data center. So what Quali does is really act as a bridge between these transitions, because it allows you to create, model, and orchestrate these environments on the legacy versus the new, and helps many of our enterprise customers to accelerate that move and de-risk it at the same time.
And in terms of your customers, are they typically just large companies? Are they software companies? Who buys from you?
Yeah, so we have a variety of use cases. Our customers include some of the top public cloud providers. We have a majority of the tier 1, tier 2 service providers. And we also have enterprises across a number of verticals. So our customers are mid to large enterprises for the most part that are looking to really make these transitions happen. And they could be something as simple as taking the lab infrastructure and creating a cloud and as a service offering with the lab infrastructure itself, which allows for that to be much more efficiently utilized, to something more complex like evolving it into DevOps environments and hybrid cloud environments. So we have different use cases, and our customers span a lot of these use cases.
Fantastic. And in terms of news, do you have anything recent or coming that we should know about?
Yeah, well, we're going to be at AWS reInvent. I guess it's the week after next, and it's a big show, very cloud-centric show. And in line with that, in a few weeks back, we announced our ability to do hybrid cloud sandboxes, and this is fairly unique in the industry. Today, if you look at some of the major transitions that are happening, it's about taking your on-premise deployments and moving it into the cloud, or maybe a hybrid offering. Majority of the enterprises today want to go hybrid. Almost 70% of the enterprises say we want hybrid clouds. But the challenge is they run into a lot of speed bumps in making that happen, because there are the infrastructure components are different, the workflows become entirely different, the operational models become different. So how do you help them accelerate that move, de-risk it, and do it in a very cost-effective manner? So what we have announced is the ability to bring hybrid cloud sandboxes, where you can, for example, have a data center or a lab with a vCenter-based deployment, and then you can also have a deployment path into an AWS environment. You can see what your application performance is across both and where you want to optimize it for functionality, performance, scalability, security, compliance. So it becomes a very powerful tool for a lot of these enterprises wanting to make that transition happen. In fact, VMware very recently announced their integration with AWS. For a very long time, they were resisting the move, but now to the benefit of a lot of their customers, they've announced this integration. And so Quali's Cloud Shell helps make some of those transition much more easier, smoother for customers wanting to go down that path. So that's relatively new, and we'll also be announcing capability for Azure as well as OpenStack imminently. So that's a bit down the line in the order of the next few months. So that's very exciting for us at this point.
That's great. So did we leave anything out?
Well, I think Quali is actually positioned at a very interesting point in the industry today. As I mentioned, today the pace of change is very rapid. Everybody is moving fast. Either you adapt to the pace of change or you risk getting disrupted, right? So that's the situation a majority of the businesses are in, and technology is playing a very pivotal role in either facilitating the change or aiding the disruption. So you need to know which side of the fence you need to be on. And in that context, if you look at analysts like Gartner, for example, they talk about bimodal IT. And mode 1 is really where your traditional processes, traditional workflows, and operational models are. And mode 2 is really the more agile operation, which in some ways is embracing DevOps, cloud-centric processes, and even shadow IT sort of fits into that mode. And eventually, you have to reconcile these two modes. You cannot be operating under silos. And what Quali does is help facilitate being a bridge between what Gartner calls as mode 1 and mode 2, and allow organizations to really make those changes, modernize application architecture, move to IoT, move to software-defined environments, move to hybrid clouds, and allow these to coexist and move back and forth, because you can replicate both environments in a very elegant way. So that's something we believe are very unique in the industry, and our ability to model those environments starting from a layer 0 patch panel, passive patch panel, to bringing in all the networking infrastructure, storage, compute, virtualized environments, deploying into containers, data, and applications. So there is today nobody in the industry that can bring the richness of the modeling into this environment. And that becomes a huge differentiator for customers, because it's not necessarily simulation only. You can actually model it and then expose it to your developers, testers, and see can they look at this and provide better quality software and better application experience. So that's something I think is very relevant to where the industry is at today, and where Quali is positioned itself as well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here. This was
Thank
great.
you, Rich. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.